Is it going to be long, do you think, Steve? Cheers. He should have done. The unemployed centre in Prescott asked us could he come round like wards or theatres or whatever. No, like, you know. So I thought we'd have a couple of shots of, say, like, somewhere like the switchboard, which and pointing out that's the hub of the place. And then we'd look at catering, laundry, and that sort of thing, you know. And I thought, Christ, I haven't told Brian. Anyway, they're coming round today, so is that all right with you? You've not been there, like. Have you got your... Seeing in this film are the ancillary staff who work in Whiston Hospital, and you will find that up and down the country, not just at Whiston, these people are the backbone, the vast army of people who are forgotten about when we talk about hospitals and in general. People normally associate doctors and nurses, full stop. Well, it's got to be remembered that without the people that we're about to see, hospitals just could not function. Is that all right?
In what sense are we going to go through the kitchen first?
Whiston Hospital and indeed in the district overall have been faced with the threat of privatisation as indeed most ancillary departments have to date. The catering staff were fortunately able to win this tender, but it is based on the concept of a central production unit which could have an effect on outside local government and possibly private industry, but this we'll have to wait and see. But the concept is central production, so we're waiting for negotiation to commence in the near future as to where the catering staff will be, what sort of conditions, etc. they'll be faced with, where they will be working in order to provide the service in the future. Okay. When we go into the canteen, to the dining room area of the catering department, this is a fairly new concept here at Whiston. When I say new, a couple of years it's been open now. Prior to this, we had a canteen in the nurse's home and the snack bar on this side of the hospital grounds. But this new canteen now was centralisation, if you like. Everybody in the hospital now eats centrally in this dining room. Consequently, we need the dining room has to be kept up to scratch. It keeps the staff more than busy. And we need to ensure that the staff are looked after from this point of view in order to provide the service which is expected. That's the catering. What do you find the overall situation with ancillary staff? First of all, we're talking about staff who are basically forgotten about. I think when the man on the street thinks about hospitals or the hospital service at all, he thinks about doctors and nurses. But with people that we'll be seeing as this film goes on will be people who are largely forgotten, i.e., for example, laundry staffs, catering staffs, domestic staffs, portering, switchboards, etc. There's a vast army of people who are involved in the health service who are largely, unfortunately, forgotten about. We must always remember that doctors and nurses are important, but without the backup of the team of people that we're talking about now, they could not function and do their job properly.
Can you give us a few words about the kitchen?
Yeah, basically the catering department well, not just here in Whiston, but in the district overall, we've just been faced with the threat of competitive tendering by this present government, and unfortunately we were able to, with good luck if you like, to win the in-house tender. The staff sides had no cooperation whatsoever in the drawing up specifications or the tender, so largely the in-house tender which was won was drawn up by the management team, supported by the authority, and we were able to win the day. We don't know yet. All we know to date about the tender is that it's based on the concept of central production unit. We don't know as yet what that entails. We're waiting for management to come to us now to negotiate the terms and conditions. So hopefully we'll be getting that sorted out in the very near future. But we have won the tender. It's staying in-house, and at least we've been able to keep the outside contractors out.
I believe you have a fantastic new canteen.
We've got a dining room which it's fairly good actually. Yeah, it's, if you like, prior to this dining room being built, and we're talking about the last couple of years, we had a situation where the nurse's home dining room was the one where staff went to eat, with a snack bar on this side of the hospital grounds. But since for the last couple of years we've had this central dining room open, which is it's bright, it's clean, it's what we've been after for a long time. But still, it can leave a lot of work for the staff to do. Consequently, it's a battle to make sure it's staffed properly, to ensure the service which is given to other members of the hospital staff is the best service which they have every right to expect.
From what I've heard, the over the hospital, the could you give us a few words about this? And because people have misconceptions
Yeah, I think what we're talking about when we come to the switchboard is basically the fact that everything has to come through the switchboard. To approach the hospital, you have to come through the board. That is the central hub, if you like, around which the hospital revolves. As you probably see from the film, the board isn't one of our latest British Telecom updated boards. It's an old board, which obviously provides a lot more work for the staff, unfortunately, because of that fact. With it being antiquated, the staff have to work that much harder to keep up with the larger inflow of traffic which is coming in now, since a lot larger now than obviously it was when the board was first installed. The staff largely do a magnificent job under the conditions of which they got to work. We could do with a better switchboard, but of course money is the situation which we face within the health service, or lack of it.
I believe you had quite a struggle to the tender for the laundry at the time of the government.
Yeah. The laundry, initially we had a laundry here at Whiston, which did the laundry for both Whiston Hospital, St Helens Hospital, Newton Cottage and Eccleston Hall. Since, well, it's a couple of years ago now, the laundry at Rainhill was amalgamated with the one here at Whiston, and the eventual centralised laundry, which is at Whiston, went out to tender. Fortunately, after a battle, we were able to win the in-house tender for the laundry, so we kept the contractors out of the laundry as well as the catering. It wasn't quite as easy as that, as you can appreciate. Once again, the staff side had no cooperation whatsoever in drawing up specifications or tenders. So once again, management drew up the in-house tender, and we were successful in winning the tender, kept it in-house. With a few changes to the laundry situation, we now have an in-house laundry. Hopefully we'll be able to keep it that way from here on in. There are a couple of changes going to be made to it. We're under the impression, or we're being told by the authority, that they intend to introduce a tunnel washer, which will change the function or change the way the laundry is washed in future. But we're waiting for them to come to us now to talk about the installation of such a tunnel washer. But thankfully, we've been able to win the in-house tender. Yeah, we have what we call a bin yard, and the bin yard itself is actually at this moment in time being revamped, i.e. We have a bin yard staff who go out and collect the rubbish from around the hospital estate, take it back to the yard, and we have an incinerator there. We have two incinerators at the moment, but they're being pensioned off, shall we say, but they're currently installing a new, what should we say, a Rolls Royce of incinerators, we're being told it is. The whole bin yard being revamped, so we should be able to provide a better service with getting rid of rubbish in the hospital. It also has to be remembered that our incinerators here are used by local government to burn refuse they want to dispose of, so it's not just used for the hospital itself alone. Certainly, by all means. Let's go. Okay, Mike.
Hi, hello. We'll be in there later, my love.
What, huh? Whiston, come back a bit. It's my route showing, Mike. You didn't say roll it. Thank you, it's good. Hold the line there. Hello, Whiston. Which are you waiting? Hello, are you waiting for? I don't know, is there? Thank you. Still engaged. Do you want to carry on waiting?